professor. And my name is Darrell Handwerger, family nurse practitioner and founder of South Florida Integrative Health Center. Today, we're going to talk about longevity medicine. This is how we are helping people reduce the risk of these chronic diseases, and we're helping them to prevent chronic disease. It is crucial, important information how we are helping people. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with very timely and helpful information so you can understand now how to really reduce your risk of disease. Right, right. So, So, Dr. Koharski, we are here at this Integrative Health Center, putting it all together to help people live healthier, more vibrant lives. And I know you've been into this integrative holistic medicine for many years. So, you have a story of what got you into longevity medicine. What got you interested in really this idea of helping people live healthier, more vital lives?
Well, it was many years ago. I was about 23 and I had a patient actually who really looked healthy, had a great tan, had rosy cheeks, the whole thing. But he was tan because he had liver failure, and he was really rosy cheeked because he had emphysema. So he mentioned something to me. He asked me a question. He said, "Do you drink alcohol?" And I said, "I do, socially." He said, "Oh," he said, "stop that if you can." He said, "Don't even do that." He said, "I wish I had lived my life differently." He said, "I wish I could go back. I wish I could change my life and how I took care of myself and how I took care of my health." He said, "But I can never get it back. So what I can give to you is this advice." And it really stuck with me. And I did actually uh, adopt a lifestyle. Eventually I was eating a lot of salads. I was juicing. Actually, my dad was really into juicing too, and we did that. And at the end of the day, I still sometimes didn't feel that healthy, even though I was exercising, trying to sleep well. But then I started to look more into things and realize that there were other things that could contribute to me not feeling well, and ultimately it could contribute to aging in a way that's maybe not that healthy. So I don't know. Am I on target here, or
Well, that's
what is longevity medicine? Am I thinking that longevity medicine is this?
it is reducing the risks of aging. And now, throughout these last couple of decades, there's been so much research into the causes of not aging well. We've all heard about these blue zones and people that live to 100 years old. What do they do? And is it just the food they eat, or is it a whole lifestyle, including how they're sleeping and the way that their movement, that's where physical therapy comes in.
Right.
And many other factors, stress, but nutrition and food is key. And then what we've studied over these 20 years are these processes in the body that increase aging. So what we're speaking about is biological age versus chronological age. What a person is as a number doesn't mean that's what their body's age is, what their physical age is. Someone could be 60 years old, but their metabolism and their health is 30. And that's what we mean by biological age. So longevity medicine is really working at these underlying systems in the body to make biological aging optimized. So that aging process doesn't go along with the number. That aging process is optimized. All these risks are reduced. Longevity medicine goes into the science and the evidence of aging. And then we go into the whole lifestyle of a person, how they're sleeping, their stress, their food, their nutrition, their environmental toxins, put it all together and reduce the risks so these chronic diseases don't sneak up on them. And that's how we can really help to prevent disease.
Well, how is this different than, so if somebody comes in to see you, how would this be different than if they went to go see their regular doctor? How? why isn't a regular doctor, I guess, doing this?
That's a good question. Many people come into our integrative center after seeing many different specialists and seeing their primary care doctors after being either put on medications that at one point served a purpose, but now is just covering up symptoms, not getting to the underlying causes of what happened to them in the first place.
Mm.
At times, it's inflammation or the immune system is reacting poorly. It's overreacting, and there's vitamin deficiencies. But that root cause was never searched out, and they come in now not just looking for the disease. They know the disease. Sometimes they have the diagnosis and the disease. What they're looking for now is, why did it happen? Can we unravel these root causes, these underlying causes? And then there's another group of people that come in to prevent these diseases. See, modern medicine, regular medicine, they have a reference range, and when it goes over a reference range or it fits certain diagnostics,
Right.
then there's a disease that's now an ICD-10 code, and for which there are interventions, usually
Right.
medications or procedures. Some of them can be life-saving. Those are the more acute conditions. But what we're talking here is chronic diseases. These are usually managed poorly, and we're seeing medications that are not properly prescribed, or there's a lot of interactions. But not only that, the root causes of high blood pressure, of poor blood sugar control, of inflammation, of autoimmunity, of poor digestion have never been looked deeper into. What are the root causes? So the difference is, we look at the root causes, we're looking at prevention, we're not waiting for the disease, and we're looking to be proactive, not reactive.
So we as healthcare professionals and providers have really, over the years, we've missed some things because we haven't been able to do as much testing. So I have to ask then, we hear a lot about biomarkers. What are these biomarkers? Why are they so important?
Right, we do hear about biomarkers of aging because now we know so much through the science and the evidence what is happening when we're aging. We see and we hear about apoptosis, senescent cells, mTOR, antioxidants. But yes, these are systems in the body that now are creating more aging because of the environment that we're in, where there's more environmental toxins. We're under more stress. The food and the soil has been depleted more. The production of food has been now the nutrients in that production have been decreased, and so now we have to really be more proactive. We have to be more on the ball about these, and we know more about these systems of aging, antioxidant systems, these systems that the body uses to what's called autophagy, where they kind of a cell that's weakened or not doing so well, the body's able to remove that to make room for new cells. That's an important process in the aging process. Oxidative stress is important to get rid of viruses or to get rid of toxins, but then when it goes on too long, it causes damage. So you have to control oxidative stress. The mitochondria, which produces energy, is so crucial in our aging process. So now that we know that, we can find biomarkers, or these testing things that we can test for. And that is the difference, because we don't guess. We don't just say that we feel that this is wrong, and that based on what most people are going through or what another person is going through. We want to individualize medicine. So now what we do, we have the biomarkers of all these aging processes. Is it inflammation? There's a biomarker for inflammation. There's
There's a biomarker for that.
Yeah,
As
and
they say, there's an app for that.
right, there's a biomarker for all these root causes. Inflammation, we could look at biomarkers for liver detoxification, biomarkers for vitamins and nutrients in the body, which aren't so easy to test just at levels in the blood. We have to know how the body is absorbing and using the vitamins. So there's different ways and more advanced ways of using testing and using it to really get to these root causes of aging, to really now be able to use good interventions, natural effective interventions, to decrease these risk factors that now with biomarkers you can measure. And the best thing about measuring is you could start seeing your improvements. So 6 months later or 3 months later, you see, wow, these biomarkers of aging have now improved. So my biological age has now improved.
I see. That's very interesting. That's good. And again, it's never too late. It's never too late to start this, really. Um,
Right, any age,
it's
when if someone is 20, they can now be very preventative
right,
for these
right,
diseases that occur normally in the 50s and 60s. If someone's in their 50s and 60s and they never really practice longevity medicine, then now they can start reversing
right.
and bring and optimizing these underlying causes that caused that their chronic disease in the first place. Any age, this could really be effective and so essential, because health is the most important asset we have in our life. It's valuable.
It's the
So
greatest
therefore,
gift.
right, we should be
It's the greatest gift.
proactive to take care, and these chronic diseases sneak up. So
Right.
yeah, acute conditions, you need the antibiotic, you need to fix whatever needs was broken, or those are acute situations. But chronic situations, those are these biomarkers. We could use these longevity biomarkers. We could use lifestyle medicine. And now we see that these chronic diseases begin to be controlled. And not only that, they're restored, they're reversed.
Mhm. Well, I have to say, it's really amazing to me, all these advancements that we're making in medicine in terms of really understanding the body as a whole. And, but there are a lot of names out there for all this type of medicine, which uh, I guess does have some subtleties. I mean, we hear about integrative medicine, we hear about holistic medicine, naturopathic medicine, all these different, it actually drives me a little bit crazy. But I have to ask. So now we're talking about this longevity medicine, which I want to get an idea. Is this holistic medicine? Is it integrative medicine? Is it this? Is it the same?
Well, it's a good point. We are the goal is really to live a long but high quality. It's not a matter of how many years. If a person's not healthy, it's
Right.
quality
It's
years. So
true.
longevity is looking to reduce those risks and look at these biomarkers, which is the basically the chemistry of how our body's working. And we start unraveling that. We learn about these systems in the body that when they're not functioning correctly or optimized, aging occurs more rapidly. But what we've also learned is this mind body connection. You
Mhm.
have to be holistic. So, longevity medicine includes holistic, because we are having in longevity medicine, we deal very closely with stress. We measure cortisol metabolites.
Right.
It's
Okay.
something that takes more advanced testing, more than just blood testing, to really know someone's really adrenal dysfunction or functioning. That's one of our longevity markers and longevity foundations, is adrenal health. So that's an example of stress and parasympathetic. And then there's sleep, because sleep works with the biomarkers that occur with melatonin and again cortisol and the circadian rhythms and mitochondria. So sleep has to now be incorporated into this longevity program. Sleep, stress, of course, nutrition for all those nutrients that we're talking about to improve these biomarkers. And of course, now gut health, which has now been shown in so much of the research to now contribute to many of these chronic diseases when the gut is not optimized. So you see, it's all holistic, because you're incorporating stress, sleep, the gut,
Right.
mitochondria. It all has to come together. Mind, body comes together with longevity medicine.
And this is one of the things I know. When I was teaching as a professor, I was always trying to tell my students how to incorporate all the systems together. That yes, you're having a test on, say, the respiratory system, but you could also see questions about the respiratory system, say, on the cardiovascular system test, even though it's a different chapter, because the systems are so interconnected that you can't really eliminate one of them when you're trying to figure out something in the other one. And so, this to me, it is amazing, through my experience. And I know that people aren't all the same. Physiologically, you might learn that there's a physiology that we go through, say, to metabolize carbohydrates or something like that. But not everybody metabolizes it the same. There's a way it's supposed to be, then there's a way that it is. So, I mean, it's really, again, very refreshing that we have come to this point in medicine where there's a nice integrative approach. I have to ask then, since you brought up the gut, how does the gut microbiome come into play when you're dealing with and treating patients who have chronic diseases?
It's an important subject. There's been so much evidence, so much research now over these last few years, and now the development of testing to keep up with the research is incredible.
Mm.
We can really see from these biomarkers of aging now where the source of inflammation is coming from, where the source of this either immune fatigued, we see a fatigued immune system, and we look at biomarkers that can actually measure not just a disease. Again, we're not looking for a disease, we're looking for optimal health. So we see that it's not a disease, but we can look at biomarkers and see the immune system's fatigued, it's overreactive, or it's fighting itself, such as an autoimmunity. And metabolism, blood sugar dynamics, the way that our cholesterol is breaking down into the more problematic artery clogging small particles. This all is connected with our gut health.
Mm.
Also, neurotransmitters in our mood, anxiety, depression, is a lot of it is coming from the gut. Digestion and absorption of vitamins and minerals, even amino acids are made, a lot of it is made in the gut. So much is connected with the gut from these biomarkers. So now that what you put the gut and connection with the whole system, the system that we're measuring these biomarkers of vitamins and minerals, inflammation, liver detoxification, you put it together with the gut microbiome, and now you could really have a more complete healing, a complete restoration of a person's health when you bring the gut and these biomarkers from blood testing together and optimize them, improve those biomarkers, improve the gut microbiome. And that's where you see some real incredible outcomes, some really amazing results.
Great. So, how important would it be then for somebody who, nowadays there's all kinds of internet information. You have a lot of information on social media, this person, all these different experts and people. How important is it for somebody to come to see you? Uh, as opposed to doing this type of research on their own? Can people do this? I mean, is it possible to do this research safely and to take care of yourself and treat yourself? Or should they come to a person who is experienced in longevity medicine, such as yourself?
Well, there is so much information out on social media, which has a positive. It's that people are now able
It
to take
does,
control of their health.
for sure.
But what is so important is that because of, we mentioned, this holistic nature, putting together the gut, for example, with hormones,
Hmm.
for putting it together with the adrenals and the thyroid
Right.
and other hormones and liver detoxification, that there is a lot of biochemistry. There is a lot of these enzymes and these co-nutrients that the understanding that a practitioner who has been educated in conventional medicine and has experience, for example, I specialize in endocrinology,
Right.
pulmonology, family medicine, but I also have a degree in dietetics and nutrition, and also have experience over 20 years in functional medicine, working with patients optimizing their health. So now, with the experience and with the ability to look at these biomarkers, have these protocols and programs that I've worked at for over these 20 years, optimizing people's health. Now I can individualize it for each person based on their biomarkers, based on their comprehensive gut microbiome stool test, and provide these effective programs and protocols.
Right.
And the person doesn't have to pull together maybe this from one person that they saw on Instagram and this from another thing that
Right.
they've
That's
seen.
true.
And I also will vet all the different supplements if needed, that they're the highest quality. We're looking at every single
You
point.
have researched all of your supplements scrupulously, talked to the people who make them. You go a lot with the smaller batch people,
Er,
and the form, which isn't always, the same in each supplement.
Right. It's
So
so, and I think that goes to that answer of the question. It's the practitioner who knows. It's not just knowing the result; it's knowing the why. It's not knowing just the numbers of these very important biomarkers, but
Right.
understanding why, so you can put together a comprehensive, personalized program that is really going to help with reversing, improving these biomarkers, and then putting it all together for that person, and so that they don't have to be guessing or putting or not knowing whether this supplement is good for them, or that supplement maybe was good at one point, but should they continue. It's going to be about the right treatment plan, the right intervention for the right person at the right time. At different times are so different, and that's really what it takes, is an experienced practitioner to put that all together, to work as a partner with that person, with the ultimate goal that they're going to now reverse these the factors that are increasing aging, accelerating aging, start reversing these chronic diseases or the potential for them.
Right.
And now they can be more confident and be more, in that they're more proactive with their health. And now they know these biomarkers, they can keep
Right.
an eye on these, they've been educated and they've been now informed, and now they're never going to fall back and not know about what could be compromising their health without them even knowing it.
Right. And again, I guess you could do it yourself, and you could eventually learn it all, but you're losing a lot of time. And, do you really want to take that, chance with your health when every second really counts, as we know? So that was good. That was very interesting advice that you gave. Basically, you're a one-stop shop, and you can save a lot of time and get everything pretty much accomplished
Yeah,
here.
we put it all together, and it's really very much about listening to the person's whole life, a whole wellness journey, and then getting them really honed in so that wellness journey is really optimal for them, with nutrients, vitamins, food is always the foundation, making sure we know where the inflammation's coming from and controlling it, optimizing mitochondrial, liver detoxification, of course, like we mentioned, gut health, and controlling oxidative stress. This is, and of course, metabolic syndrome and all the metabolism is really something that we really work hard optimizing and putting it all together. And then that is really how we're going to make a difference with chronic diseases.
That sounds great. So how can people get in touch with you?
Well, we are here at South Florida Integrative Health Center. You could make a 15-minute discovery call to see how we can help you through our website, which is there on the screen, and you can reach us through our phone, and text, or leave a message. And our appointments are very in depth, putting it all together, and you'll have your chance to now see how functional medicine or longevity medicine can really help you.
That sounds great. Well, we hope to see you guys back next time, and hope you got a lot out of it. Have a healthy week.
Good health.
Hey, feeling good.